Jonathan Arne here for Metal Talk TV. We're here at the Gibson Garage in London with the Wild Things.
Hello.
Hello. So we're here celebrating 1 year of the Gibson Garage, this amazing showroom. They've got all the guitars you can see behind us. How does it feel to be here, part of that?
Oh, it's sort of like a second home. We hang out here a lot, just because it's so pretty. So, yeah, no, we're very grateful to be here, very excited to play some songs. And, yeah, we do love it here, don't we?
Yeah, this is actually my personal guitar collection that I lent to Gibson.
Yeah, this is just it's like your closet room of guitars, and we're taking up pieces. Yeah.
It's a small flat. There wasn't enough space for everything. So
fair enough. So, well, I know you're doing a set as part of their celebration acoustic day. How do you feel about, because I know Gibson's done a lot to celebrate kind of grassroots music and up-and-coming artists, and how have you felt that support, and how do you feel about playing later today?
We've kind of always, gravitated towards Gibson as a brand anyway. I mean, I exclusively play Gibson guitars, so, when we first started as a band and then as we've sort of progressed, it's always been amazing to have the support here, like physically in the building, but anywhere across the world as well. So I sort of made a joke being like, it's like coming home, but it really is. And we've never ever felt like we couldn't, reach out if we need something or an emergency or anything. And just to celebrate music in general, which is obviously very important to us and as a whole. It's it's really great to be doing a little thing here today.
Okay, that's great. And anyone else?
Yeah, we don't actually play acoustic that much, so it felt kind of special to get to do this with Gibson.
It's a nice change, right, to stretch your kind of muscles in a different way as a band.
Yeah, it was either that or like a 3-hour interpretive dance, and we decided.
Still want to do that one.
Yeah.
Well,
that's coming this evening.
That'll come later. Yeah. So most definitely.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know the Wild Things, can you give us a little background and kind of the story of coming together? Because I know you kind of keep it in the family as a band. So if you let us all know about that.
So wife, husband, brother, sister, weird best mate. You're not actually weird, you're very handsome. But yeah, we've been going, it's difficult to tell how long we've been going for because, we've always been a unit and then it kind of progressed into something pretty serious and professional, if you want to call it that. And we've had a very lucky and amazing career with some of the artists that we've gotten to work with. And again, it's one of the reasons we're here today doing this. Yeah. So it's a real pleasure.
Yeah. So I know you've got the Afterglow album out. You've got a couple of things spinning at the moment. What's going on now and what's near future for the Wild Things?
Gosh.
Not a loaded question, not hard.
No. Afterglow was years of work that we did with the incredible Pete Townshend, and it blossomed into a concept album and a story, and we called it a Choose Your Own Adventure album. And, how do you follow that, really, is what we sort of started thinking. And now we are writing and have been writing. And it's gone pretty mental, not in a complicated way, but we have big ideas for what's coming next. I don't want to try and explain it yet, but it will make sense, and it's all entwined, I think,
Yeah.
Yeah,
go big or go home, right?
That's it in a nutshell.
Okay, go big or go home. And I think that's good for any creative pursuit. Yeah, go big or go home. I think that's good for any creative pursuit. You mentioned Pete Townshend, and of course, as far as being in a room, the house that Gibson built, one of those legendary artists. How did that come together, and how was he like to work with? Because he's quite particular.
Yeah. I emailed him and kept emailing him because Rob and I had worked with him, but that's how we met. We met through Townshend. And I knew I had his email address, and I just thought I'd send him as many things as possible until I could bully him into saying, I'll work with you guys. And it worked. So, but he really changed our perspective in terms of songwriting and breaking stuff down and then remaking different things. And Cam produced the record with him. So I think, we all learned an awful lot. And in terms of what he's like to work with, I think for anybody being in front of a genius like that, because that's what he is, and I'm not just trying to blow smoke up his ass, he is a certified genius. You can only take away incredible lessons and not take it for granted. And it's scary and it's daunting, but we love him to bits. If you're watching this, Pete, love you. But no, he's incredible. He probably did. But no, he's incredible, and we're very blessed and grateful. And it has spurred us on to whatever the next project is, you know?
That's fantastic. It's funny, actually, you mentioned, because he used to live, his old studio was in the Wick. He used to be, I used to live up the street from me.
Oh,
And
really?
So, yeah, I would see him on a morning walk and just go, yeah. Didn't have anything else. But yeah, I agree. You know, as a songwriter, I think he's someone so criminally underrated as a genius. And I guess, speaking of legends and, you know, other bands who've had decades of history, we can't go without mentioning Kiss. So I know you did the tour, you did the Kiss cruise. How was that? Because that's a really hardcore fan base as a young band.
Yeah, it was scary at first, like the idea of it, but everyone had just gone through lockdown.
It was amazing.
It was,
Everybody, you say they're a hardcore fan base,
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah.
But they were so welcoming and open
Beyond.
to us.
That's great.
I think probably the most welcoming fan base in terms of a band that big and that daunting. But we've been through lockdown. We, got the offer to go on the cruise, and we just went, well, we're not going to say no, are we? And that's obviously how we met him. And
The timing panned out. Like it was just a whirlwind of 2 weeks.
yeah,
We
absolutely.
got off the
bonkers.
ship in LA and then drove straight to Vegas to play with the Who.
Yeah, it was a good 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was like storybook stuff.
Yeah.
John, I'll tell you a story. I don't think we've told it before. We were we got some good stages on the Kiss cruise, probably better than we deserved, given like we were kind of new and nobody knew who he was. The reason we did was we were playing a show at Brixton Academy, and Sid was walking past the stage manager's door, and here's this, doof, and she, and this fuck, and you opened the door, and there was a hatchet in the door.
Yeah.
And the stage manager used to be the roadie for
Lemmy.
For Lemmy.
Oh.
Yeah, and when he's chewing out, he likes to throw his hatchet at the door. And so Sid's just got talking to him, and he was like, "What are you guys doing next?" And we were like, "Oh, we're going on the Kiss cruise." And he went, "I'll make some calls."
Yeah.
He didn't try to do it that night.
Yeah.
And then we got a call like a week later. They're like, "Yeah, you're playing the same stage as Kiss," just because of a hatchet. So.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best way to do it.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think we were lucky. I guess everyone, it's for the last, 40, 50 years? They just did 50 years before calling it, not the end, but the end of whatever that was, 50 years of touring. How does it feel from a young band's perspective watching, because I'm guessing you watched their show and you watched it. So what did you take from that, watching the peak of what success can look like?
We need more pyrotechnics, yeah.
More explosive.
Yeah, absolutely that.
Platforms.
Yes, yeah. Loads more explosive, guitars with fire that come out of them. Probably more face paint could always...
The zip line.
Zip line,
Yeah.
we need a zip line for sure. And we should all be wearing platforms. Or at least me. I'd love to be
Always wear
taller.
platforms.
These are very flat.
It's the one day.
Yeah, well. But aside from that,
Gene Simmons platforms like this.
Yeah,
a separate
hell yeah.
form.
And he's a big man anyway.
He is.
Right? So when you bump into him in a corridor in the full kit, and you go, Gene, cool, yeah, thanks, no.
Nice.
What did he say to you?
Oh, he was in his full gear, and he was like on his way to stage, really thin, like holes, and he's being driven around by this lad, and he's on the back of like a sort of like a golf cart sort of thing, and so he doesn't. I'm walking this way, the car's coming this way, so he doesn't see me until he's gone past.
Yeah.
So he goes past me, and I hear this halt, and I look, and there's this demon with his hand up, and he's just sort of stopped the person. He like looked at me, and went, "Are you having a good time?" I was like, "Yeah, Gene, it's pretty cool, thank you. Like we're learning." He's like, "Are you having a good time?" And I went, "Yes."
Hell yes.
And he just went like that, and then the car like drove off down the hall.
That's all he needed to know.
That's it. I mean, I think that's like him in a nutshell, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
You had a good time.
Oh, we
A
had a
kiss.
very good
A kiss time.
We had a
Yeah,
kiss time.
that was
yeah.
fantastic.
It was great.
I guess the only that really leaves what can we expect from your set coming up, and what can we hope for the next 6 months, year, whatever it is for the Wild Things?
A lot of
that
pyrotechnics.
Platforms, makeup.
Zip lines, yeah, the whole lot.
Yeah.
The set is going to be good. It's something different from us. If people are used to like the louder, more kind of thrashy Wild Things, but like you said, it's fun to stretch those muscles and approach the songs from a different angle. And in terms of the future, we can promise a lot.
Yeah. A lot.
A tour.
A
There's going to be a
tour,
tour.
yeah.
I'll say that. You'll be the first people to hear it. There's going to be a tour.
Headline?
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody watch this space. Thanks to the Wild Things and thanks to Gibson.
Thank you
That's
so
right.
much.
Thank you.
Did you have a good time?
Had a good time.